Hey Wire Monkeys, welcome to another episode of Let's Talk Cabling. Today we're tackling the top 5 myths for attending a BICSI conference.
Welcome to Let's Talk Cabling, your gateway to the world of ICT. Get ready to dive deep into knowledge that
Welcome to the show where we tackle the tough questions submitted by apprentices, installers, technicians, foremen, project managers, estimators, IT customers, even everybody. We're connecting at the human level so that we can connect the world. If you're watching this show on YouTube, would you mind hitting the subscribe button and the bell button to be notified when new content is being produced? If you're listening to us on one of the audio podcast platforms, would you mind leaving us a 5-star rating? Those simple little steps helps us take on the algorithm so we can educate, encourage, and enrich the lives of people in the ICT industry. Wednesday nights, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. What are you doing? You know I do a live stream on TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, everywhere I can figure out how to send a video stream to, where you get to ask your favorite RCDD questions on installation, design, project management, estimation, even career path questions. But I can hear you now. Chuck, I'm driving my truck. I don't want to get into an accident. Take a breath. I record them and you can watch them at your convenience. And finally, while this show is free and will always remain free, if you find value in this content, would you click on that QR code right there? You can buy me a cup of coffee. You can even schedule a 15-minute one-on-one call with me. After hours, of course. So if you haven't already figured it out, I am not in my podcast studio. I'm at BICSI Beyond 2025, recording in their podcast booth. How cool is that? As a 25-plus year veteran of BICSI and in volunteering and committees and all that stuff, I hear a lot of people say false things about coming to events like this. So I figured I would invite one of my favorite RCDDs, who also happens to be a neighbor of mine. We live literally like 15 minutes apart. And the funny thing is, we only see each other. It seems like we have to go to Vegas to see each other, or Orlando to see each other. So I'm bringing on Chuck Wilson from Wilson Technology so we can address these 5 myths. Chuck Wilson, how you doing, my friend?
Chuck, I'm glad to be here.
Chuck squared. Chuck squared.
That's it.
No, you're not the first time on the show, because you were on in a previous episode, helped me put a ground rod in for the podcast today.
Right. Do the begging.
Yep, which I still have not hooked up yet. Farm life, I'm telling you, just lots and lots of stuff going on. So you've been around a long time like I have. Right, and you probably heard these same things. So I want to go through 5 myths.
My first conference was in '93.
Oh wow, you beat me by a couple of years. My first one was 2000. Yeah. So the first one I want to address is those BICSI conferences. Those are only for the designers and the RCDDs, right? Or RCDDs, and put one little too many extra D's in that, right? So, but you sat in committee meetings and volunteer groups, stuff like that. What would a first-time field tech do here on day one?
One, when it's available, attend the BICSI First Timers. You get a feel from people who have been involved of what goes on and how everything takes place, what's available to you. Go to the BICSI Village. It gives you exposure to the documentation library. It gives you, obviously, BICSI Cares is important. And it gives you a feel for the organization. And you'll start to meet people. If you're a credential holder, you want to go to the Credential Holders Lounge. The networking that takes place there is incredible. And it's not just for RCDEs. It is for technicians. The Orlando conference always highlights the skills challenge. And we've now even got international participants in the skills challenge. Mm-hmm. Watching that grow over the years. And you see that a lot of those people now have become instructors. Mm-hmm. They are now...
And come back as judges?
Judges, yes. So that,
and then they also go on to do volunteer work at committees. Correct. And stuff like that. It's almost like a launching pad.
Correct. If you have an interest in particular things, such as codes, standards, growth growth, get involved. One of the key things is to, before you attend, is to take a look at the conference booklet. It is also available usually online a few weeks before the conference. Plan out what you want to see. There is something for everybody in this industry at some point during the conference.
Yes, absolutely. And I did that with the app. I downloaded the app beforehand.
Okay.
And I went ahead and I selected the ones I want. And I like that because it actually pops up on my phone and reminds me. It's like, oh, hey,
Correct.
15 minutes, the PDC meeting starts. You need to go.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so I
They've
like
come a long way with the app.
Right. So as a newcomer coming here, there's lots of committees here. You know, the standards committees, the PDC committee, and all those others. What's a good one for a newcomer to come? Because a lot of people don't know this. You can go to you don't have to be a member of the committee. You can go in there and sit as an observer and watch what's going on.
Correct.
So what would be a good one for a first timer or newcomer? What would be one of those good committee meetings for them to kind of sit in there?
One, pick one you have an interest in and sit in on that committee. There are some that deal with membership. There's some that deal with codes. And there's some that deal with various standards. But there's breakouts within the standards.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have an interest in healthcare, you may want to sit in on that committee as they work through the next document that's going to be coming out. So find out where your field of interest is and sit in. See if you like it. I've served on various committees throughout the years.
And the beautiful thing about the committees is you develop lifelong relationships.
Oh, absolutely.
You learn things that you didn't know, and you don't need to know everything to volunteer for one of those committees.
Exactly.
You don't have to be a subject matter expert. You just have to have a passion.
Mm-hmm.
And
Exactly.
I sat in several meetings yesterday, and I sat in one of yours, and the N1, the N2, and the N3.
Correct.
High level. What is N1, N2, and N3? And I also want to talk about you need help. You need volunteers.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. It's the imparting of knowledge to the next generations and the current generation, the current users. It's taking this brain trust, because I'm not a young chicken. I know
You're not?
that.
I could have sworn you were like 25.
I wish. But I know at some point I will not be able to participate. It's taking that brain trust and imparting it into documentation that is now going to be shared with the next generation of installer and designer. And to me, that is key about what we're about. As you say, knowledge is power.
Yeah.
And being able to share that knowledge and impart it to others, to me, is key.
You know, in my day job, I talk about code standards and best practices. And the way that I always describe best practices, best practice would be the TDMM, the ITSA manual, or the practice for that or something like that. And the way I always describe it is, it's a roadmap on how to do the work efficiently, correctly, that will last forever, written by people with decades of experience who are giving you this information. And my dad always used to say, the best lesson learned is the one from somebody else's mistake.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
So what's N1, N2, N3, and what kind of people are you looking for help?
The M1, 2, and 3 is a section of the codes or standards that need to be updated because our industry has changed tremendously in the last few years since that document was published. So periodically, all the standards are reviewed by groups of people who have inputs. You don't have to be a subject matter expert on everything, but you bring your experience to the table to help us build the new documents because they have to be constantly updated, usually anywhere from 3 to 5 years.
Yeah, you really need, correct me if I'm wrong, you really need the help of the people who are still doing the work in the field, who are fresh out of the field, because one of the things about committee members is a lot of those people are advancing their careers. Very few people on committee meetings are actually still out there pulling cable. Right? There are some, don't get me wrong, there are some, but the vast majority are people who are designers, estimators, project managers, QA, whatever. So we need more people who are still...
Just yesterday, one of the participants who was sitting in is now getting involved.
Talking about TJ? The power? Yeah, TJ Pate. Who's also a 3-time BICSI Skills Challenge winner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's a kid that started out as an installer.
Yep.
And now works for one of the large power companies.
Mm-hmm.
And he brings an expertise that a lot of us don't have because he deals with overhead optical fiber installations.
Yep.
I was aware of it, but I've never
Been
been able to talk to someone who's actually been involved in doing it.
See, and that's the exact point I was just trying to make, right? So people at you and I level, we're aware of a lot of the stuff, but we may not necessarily have done it. That's why when you put out that call, I was like, we need to get this message out to people who are in the field. They think, I'm just a technician in the field. I'm project foreman. What can I do? There's a lot of stuff.
Oh, the technicians bring a tremendous amount of insight because they're the hands-on.
Yep.
I was fortunate. I started out as a technician with Ma Bell. And I look back at the mentors that mentored me that I am so grateful for because it has advanced my career over the years.
Right.
And that was before
Yeah.
a BICSI RCDD.
Yep. It always cracks me up when people, they feel self-conscious about not having experience. I keep telling everybody, we all start with 0 days experience in this field. Everybody starts at the same place. Everybody starts. So let's go to myth number 2. Okay. BICSI's too expensive. I don't get enough return on my investment. Right. So what would you say to what were some tips that you may give people to help maybe?
It's an investment in yourself. It's an investment in your company. And if you're an owner of the business, it's an investment in your employees. You'll get a return on your investment in what they bring to the interface of your customers.
Right.
Based on other conferences that I've gone to, it's very economical. Yes, the cost of conferences has gone up over the years.
What hasn't?
Yeah, exactly.
What hasn't?
But the investment that you make, because you're always exposed to something new. You're exposed to networking with people that you know or that you meet, and you get to share those experiences that you don't have because of where they are. I just talked to a gentleman who's from the West Coast. He's from the Silicon Valley area. And just in general conversation, what he's exposed to and his challenges are different than my challenges in Florida.
Oh, absolutely.
So, I don't have
The lightning capital of the United States.
Yes, we're the lightning capital, but I don't worry about earthquakes.
Right.
I don't
Seismic protection.
Yes,
Right.
I don't have to worry about building.
California installers do. They got to
Yes.
worry about seismic protection and the vibration and all that stuff.
Exactly.
And in Florida, we got to worry about what was it? 3 weeks ago, we had 30,000 lightning strikes that week or something.
Yeah.
That's right.
So Florida gets crazy.
Yes. So a management trick that I was taught to me by one of my mentors is if you're trying to justify something, make a PowerPoint slide with just 3 bullets to justify. You gave one already. It's an investment. What are 2 other things the 2 other bullets you would put on that slide?
The knowledge you gain, whether it's from the speakers, from talking with others, in the exhibit hall. I can't count the number of times that I've gone through the exhibit hall where a customer has created a challenge that I need to find a solution for.
Oh, yeah.
And gone through the exhibit hall
Yeah.
and going, that's the solution.
But not only that, but you also have multiple solutions, right? Because you might have multiple, like say you're looking for a cable that might be able to go beyond 100 meters. Well, almost all of the big manufacturers now have some sort of system go beyond that. So, you can actually go to, without having to invest a whole bunch of time, you can go to this booth, and that booth, and have a good wealth of information.
Yeah,
literally.
there'll be people there that can explain
Yes.
the differences in how their product works.
Yes.
So it's
Communication is way better when it's talking as opposed to emails back and forth. So much gets lost in yes.
well in emails and even text.
Yes.
So the opportunity to interface with, because you get to interface with a vast array of experiences and you get to talk to salespeople. You get to talk lot of times manufacturers will have their engineers in the booth.
Yes.
They'll also have a lot of times they'll have their engineers speaking as a
Right. But they also have the engineers, and they also have the salespeople. And the benefit there is the engineers can give you the back detail, right?
Correct.
At whatever level you need. But the salespeople, they deal with customers all the time. They know what are the pain points and what are the customers. And that's good information to always have.
Yes.
What the third bullet? So the first one was knowledge. The first one was knowledge. The second one was, getting to the booths.
The networking.
Networking.
The exposure to product. And the other is BICSI, the conferences always have speakers that bring something new to the industry from a different perspective. They're not all within our industry.
Right.
Last year we had a gentleman from the FBI or the CIA.
Yeah.
What a fabulous, I would not have thunk
Right.
I was going to enjoy that particular presentation. Yes. But I was fascinated, and he after came back to the Credentials Lounge and spent almost an hour and a half, 2 hours just answering questions one-on-one.
Yeah, there's been more than one keynote speakers, like for example, the female Thunderbird pilot.
Oh yeah,
amazing,
awesome,
amazing. And then a couple years before that, there was a guy that climbed Mount Everest, and then
Doctor.
Yeah, exactly. So so when you look at those keynote speakers and you're thinking, well, what's that have to do with ICT? I mean, they're powerful messages that you can that message translates across any industry, any level. They're
absolutely.
just they're absolutely. So let's go to the next myth number 3. I don't want to go to BICSI because it's all sales pitches. It's all sales pitches. So you volunteer on the committees, right? How do you keep track of the technical so it's not so sales?
Well, one, as far as the committee work, even though you may come and work for a particular manufacturer or installation or contracting company, you have to leave that part of yourself in the suitcase. You bring your expertise and your knowledge that you are sharing with, because all the committees, as a member, you have to sign that you are not going to use proprietary or you're not going to just push your product is to keep it neutral so that the information we're sharing is generic to all involved in the industry. And I've always liked that approach. And BICSI staff is on the presentations, is very diligent at going through the presentations to make sure it's not a sales pitch.
Yes.
That the speaker is bringing
vendor agnostic.
Yes. And what is key.
Yes.
It's key because even though we all work for different companies, different people, we're all in the same industry. And it's large, but it's small.
It's such a great business model that I mimicked it for the podcast. The podcast is vendor agnostic. You might hear me talking about Fluke in one episode and Softing in the next and AM in the third, and I love them all equally. And the reason I do that is because, number one, I want to be plugged in with everybody, just the way I work. And number two, there might be a segment of installers who only use AM testers. Well, I don't want to alienate them by only doing Fluke or vice versa.
Yeah, exactly.
It's vendor agnostic. So myth number 4. I'm a newcomer. I'm going to feel out of place. It's going to be there with all these people who are engineers and designers and stuff like that.
If you're in this business, you are not a stranger.
Your family.
Almost everybody I've known in this organization has always been willing to share with me when I have questions, and has always been open to meeting.
I should do a show.
I have never had somebody be hostile that I was here.
I should do a show on how I'm an introvert. A lot of people don't know that about me. You get me outside of this little bubble, I am an introvert. I truly am. So I should do, but I've learned skills from mentors. I should do a show on how to approach somebody at a conference and talk to them. But there's a lot. My first 5-7 conferences, I would come, I would sit and do all this stuff. I wouldn't talk to nobody because I don't know how to have to push. Now I get to choose it being
A lot of
Chatty
times
Chuck.
I like in the credential holders lounge, I'll walk up and I'll ask to join a table, and I'll sit there and listen for a bit,
Yes.
and then I'll say, well, wait a minute. I'll ask them a question.
Yeah.
Well, how do you do that?
Right.
Or why do you do it that way?
Right.
That opens up a whole conversation now that we begin to share information with each other.
So you don't even have to do that. I can sit down and pretty much look at somebody and find a way to start talking to them by what they're wearing.
Oh, yeah.
You know, if you sit down and you got a BICSI RCD shirt on, even though I may know what it is, say, so tell me about your RCD shirt. How did you get your RCD? How did you study for it? Do you find it valuable? And just get people talking and break down that barrier. I mean, it's a lot easier than I really ever thought it would be, until you learn them skills.
And another, we talk about value. The library, the document library that's available to you through BICSI, and a lot of times they're discounted at the show. I keep a full library for my techs.
I've seen that library. I've been in your office because we're neighbors.
Because I can't remember it all.
Yes.
It's knowing where to look.
Yes.
And this organization has helped me with that. And then having the opportunity to be involved in writing some of these documents also helps, because now you're doing research that make you learn
Right.
something you didn't learn.
Right. So you've been many conferences, right? You've probably seen at least. And I know you got a billion stories. Just give me one story on how somebody came to an event and then they left feeling plugged in.
Oh, let's see here. Actually, there's a young gentleman who worked for me for a little while. He now works for a local school board. And I got him to attend. And he set for his RCDD. He now has his RCDD. It gave him a career opportunity to move to a different income, or not income, but a step up to work for an organization that offered him and his family better benefits than I could have provided at the time. So, and I've always enjoyed watching an employee grow, whether it's with me or outside the organization. So I'm always thrilled about an employee that you watch them step up and grow.
There are many people in my professional life that I may not talk to them daily, but I still keep in touch with them, even though we don't work together anymore.
Yep.
And we're friends on Facebook, and I see them at events, stuff like that. That's why I said earlier, when you come here, you're only an outsider until you walk through the front door.
Exactly.
After that, you're family. But that can be a dysfunctional family sometimes. but all you gotta do is just put out a little bit of effort, and then most people here, you start talking about anything, they will open up, because that's we're here for networking. That's one of the big threes why you go to events, is you go to network.
Exactly.
Because it's not just to find customers, but again, solution. I was having dinner last night with some people, and one of the person who was in the dinner works for a company. I don't want to say the name yet, but they're well known for making cameras.
Okay.
And I was like, hey, I should get you on the podcast as an episode. If I'd never gone to dinner, if I never networked, we've never had that opportunity.
In fact, you're one of the best I've seen at networking through your podcast, and also the training you do for those preparing for the RCDD. Because it's not something they're paying extra for.
Right.
You give them an opportunity to, in a group environment, even though it's all online.
All right.
I see that helps you learn. It helps you grow. When I took classes for my RCDD, it was done in a classroom environment, so you shared with other people in class. I'm not a good web loader.
Yeah, me neither.
I
struggle sometimes with
I'm
technology.
too ADD.
I'm an early adopter, but I struggle with technology.
Yeah.
I force myself through.
And so I found it harder to learn through webinars than I do in a more social environment in a classroom.
Ding, 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 winner, chicken dinner. I'll preach us from the top of the mountain. If you want to teach somebody in this field, you got to incorporate hands-on.
Yeah.
We're tactile learners. I can sit and talk about how to terminate a jack all day long and the nuances of working with this type of jack versus that type of jack or testing or whatever, but it really sinks in and you put your hands on it.
You gotta touch it.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, lightning round. Okay, lightning round. 5 questions, quick off the cuff, right? What is the first session a newbie should go to when they come to an event like this? First session, not the members village. What's the first session they should think about going to?
Newcomers.
Yep. Okay, next one. You do a lot of walking at these events.
Oh, absolutely.
Footwear is key, right? Footwear is key.
Yeah, make sure you got comfortable shoes.
So tennis shoes, or I already know the answer because I can see your feet. Tennis shoes, dress shoes, or boots.
Oh, tennis shoes, always that.
There you go.
In fact, I'll share a quick story. When I was on the board, and they would do the board group pictures, myself and Ray Craig, we were on board at the same time, always wore tennis shirts.
Mm-hmm. I got a funny story about it, too.
Ed Donovan was president at the time, and he says, I was so proud to have that picture of the group of us to put up on my office wall. He says, I look down, and there's you and Ray Craig wearing tennis shoes.
Yeah, I got a Ray Craig story too. So I attend all the committee meetings now, but I don't do a lot of volunteer work because I got so much stuff going on in my life right now. I literally don't have time, but I always get to stay plugged in. But I used to do a lot of work on the meeting, and I was at a committee meeting once, and he came in with a suitcase. I'm like, why is he coming in with a suitcase? And then he sat down at the table. He was in a suitcase. He had every manual that you can think of in that suitcase. I was like, that's pretty smart. That's actually pretty smart. So
And I do like that you can get the manuals.
PDF.
Yeah.
So there's a
Makes the searching.
that's right. So, and because I run the RCD study groups, when I want to learn, I want a book. I want pages. If I want to search something, Control F.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's your fastest. It's the easiest way to go through a
In
document.
fact, I subscribe to the NEC.
Yes.
Because I find it easier.
You don't have to subscribe to the NEC to get to the NEC free, right?
There's other documents.
Oh, okay.
And I get the
Gotcha.
technical bulletins.
Gotcha. Okay.
But it's a great. You can't remember everything in the NEC, even though I hold an electrical license. You can't remember all the places in the NEC, and that's going through a big change.
Right. Okay, last one. When's the best time to go visit the exhibit hall?
Shortly after it opens.
Staying with a big, huge crowd of people, and kind of.
I find the first night that it's open, I do it what I call a skim walk.
I do the same thing.
I
will walk up and down every aisle, just kind of looking at the booths.
Right.
And then I'll come back.
I will see what's new.
Yes.
I'll also remember, I need to talk to those people.
Right. Yes.
But I'll come back. Then I'll usually try to pick a time that's a little slower.
Mm-hmm.
In the afternoon, or they have a morning
Right.
session, and then I will go back and pinpoint the people I really need to talk to, or the product I really want to look at.
And that's another reason to have your book, because it's got the map on there. You can actually have the map open.
With all the vendors.
You can circle the ones to check off to go back with, because especially at the conference we have a lot of exhibitors. You can get lost sometimes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and unless they have a thing hanging from the ceiling, if you're looking for one of the smaller vendors, it's kind of.
They also too in the exhibit hall. They have the what's new, what's it do.
Oh, I'm gonna be there today. Absolutely.
It's a great opportunity to learn about the new product developments that have come out, and they're showcasing their products, but that's okay.
Yes.
It gives you an opportunity, because that's how I found answers.
Yes.
I ran into a situation several years ago. My client had built a new building and built a conference room. Well, he put in the conduits underneath the table were only 3/4. He wanted to be able to hook up laptops and project onto the screen.
Right.
Well, you can't get an HDMI cable through there at that corner.
Right.
I had come to just been at a BICSI conference, and I came across a product line, right, that used transceivers over Cat 6 on each end, right? Yours. I'm going, that does what I needed to do.
Yeah.
Because now I have a device I can put underneath the conference room table and behind the TV. I solved it because I'm going, I can't go back and tell this guy I got to dig up his slab.
Right. One of the I think I haven't been to the exhibit hall yet here because it doesn't open until later today.
Right.
But when I was in Orlando, this may sound so weird. The best product that I saw at that whole entire thing was a tie wrap. Invent came out with a tie wrap that you don't even need snips. You can just take it, twist it, and it cuts it flat. How many times have you come home with scars on your arm because somebody had been sealing didn't cut the tie wrap switch? It's simple things like that, and you don't know that if you don't walk through the exhibit hall.
Baghdaddy was another.
Yeah. Oh yes.
The first time I saw it, I'm going, okay. And in the back of my mind, well, sure enough, within about 2 years, I ran into a project that the Baghdaddy was perfect for what we needed to do, because it was a red iron decking. And, it worked out great.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't have to shoot in the red iron, and you could do that with a pole. You can take a painter's pole,
Uh-huh.
with the long painter's pole, and just put on and tink. You never have to get a scaffold and red scaffold.
You'll come across products that have been developed because of other people's experience, and you'll remember down the road, wait a minute, there's a product that will help me do this. And you go, okay, I saw it, and then you start doing the research, and sure enough, you'll find that you saw it at BICSI conference.
Absolutely.
So that's one of the things I've gotten out of over the years is finding solutions, because that's what I try to do for my customers. Let me know what your pain point is. Let me know what you're trying. Sit down, we'll talk about what you're trying to do, and then I'll go find a solution and put the solution package together. I don't sell to my customers.
Educate.
Yes, I try to find solutions to resolve their problem. I get paid for doing that if I do it right.
Yep.
So that's always been my approach. I don't sell used cars. I represent high quality installations.
Exactly. Chuck, thank you for coming on the show today.
Oh, thank you.
I know you got a meeting you got to attend. Yeah. I appreciate you taking the time out of your busy day.
By any of these young people or first timers, don't have to be young. Get involved. Get involved.
That's it right there.
Knowledge is power.
That's recorded now.
Let's cable with pride. In the world of ICT, let's ride this tide. Thank you for joining us on Let's Talk Cabling. Stay tuned for more episodes filled with innovation